Okay, so today we're going to be doing upper body yoga workout where we're going to be starting. This is my student Emmy. Hi. We're going to be starting with our child's pose. We're going to be meditating in a child's pose for about a minute before we begin our yoga sequence. Reflect on the energy surrounding your body. Release all the bad energy. Take in the good energy. Make sure to breathe in and out. In a few moments, we'll be able to transition out of our child's pose into a cat pose. Lift your head slowly off the ground. Now you're going to get on all fours. With your back flat, gaze down on the floor, down towards the floor. Line up your hands underneath your shoulders and keep your knees under your hips. Now slowly arch your back and put your face down towards the mat. Exhale, tucking your tailbone and round your spine towards the ceiling and release your neck. Then inhale, lifting your shoulders and seat bones towards the ceiling, raising your head to look straight ahead. And repeat this about 10 times. Inhaling and exhaling. Good job with your inhale and exhale. While you're inhaling, face down towards the mat, exhaling. You can look up high. Now when we transition from cat pose with a plank, start off with your hands and knees, tuck your toes under and straighten legs back so your body comes into a push-up position. Then go into a downward dog, lifting your hips and back to bring your body into an inverted V, and press your hands into the floor and shoulders away from the floor. Now we will transition into the down dog split, keeping your hips square and your core engaged. Raise your right leg up with your foot flexed as high as you can. Now we will transition into a knee to elbow crunch. So start up with your right leg towards your left elbow. Kick your leg back. Now do the opposite. Put your foot down and do your left leg towards your right elbow. From here, we're going to do your left leg high up again in a dogward split. Now transition into a low lunge, keeping your fingers pressed against the ground. Bring your hips up and arms up with your biceps near the ears, fingers facing up to the sky. Now bring your hands back down to the mat. Your fingers pressed against the floor. Transition into a downward dog. Now we're going to do the right leg. You're going to put it back into a downward dog split with your right leg. Transition into the crunch with your left elbow. Now put your right leg on the mat into a low lunge. Bring your biceps near your ears, transition up, bring your hips up. We're going to stay in this position for a few seconds. Now is our reverse warrior. You're going to turn your left foot out to 45 degrees. Bring your head and your hips towards the wall. Make sure you're pressing against your foot. Now we're going to transition into an extended side angle. So hinge forward, resting your right forearm on your right thigh. Lift your left arm up and look up at your fingertips. Bring your arm down. Now we're going to go into a downward dog again. Let's bring your left leg to your right elbow. Low lunge. We're going to do a reverse warrior. So bring your foot up to a 45-degree angle. Lift your shoulders up. Turn them sideways. Look straight. Now put your left elbow on your left knee and raise your right arm up and look towards the sky, your fingertips. Your last transition pose is the standing half split. So lift back into the high lunge. Put your arm down. Then lower both hands out in front of your on front of your left foot. Straighten your left leg and lift your right leg as high as you can. If you need to, you can put your hands towards your sides for balance. Now you're going to put your right leg down. We're going to do the opposite on the left. So we're going to put your pressure on your right leg and put your left leg out back. Arms forward. Engaging that core. Now we're going to transition back into a downward dog. We're going to keep this pose here for about 30 seconds. And now we're going to do our last transition, which is our child's pose. We're going to meditate for about 1 minute. I'm going to turn off the lights here. We just worked up the upper body. Release all of that tension in the upper body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale the good energy, exhale the bad. I'm going to put the lights back on. You can now transition out of the child's pose. And we are done with our upper body yoga workout sequence. Namaste. Thank you, Emmy. No problem.